So I asked Claude AI to make me as much money as possible in 1 month. And usually when you see these types of videos, there's a catch. Almost every viral AI made me money type experiment worked because the person already had a giant following, and they just sold stuff to the audience that they already built. And then they gave the AI all the credit. But don't take my word for it, the top comments under those videos say it themselves. And they're on the screen right now. So most of the videos that do this type of thing, usually they're partially BS, but not this one. See, the money was never in the machine if you're doing it the right way. It's in what you already have, and Claude just packages it and does most of the heavy lifting for you. And that's why I ran this experiment on a random 50-year-old in my family. And it was my brother. And I did it anonymously at first, and then documented everything in public. Now, like I said, my brother's 50 years old. He spent nearly 30 years in the trades. He had zero online presence, never made $1 outside of his career. He wasn't tech savvy, and he'd never made a video in his life, besides recording videos on his phone. And so if it worked for him, and you'll see exactly how far it went, screenshots with all the evidence included, it can work for whatever you're sitting on right now. But let's just see how far we can take this. Now, I've made tens of millions using AI in my own businesses, and I have a community where over 1,000 people have run these exact same systems, where they've generated over $100 million in revenue. Plus, I've been using AI since 2022, and I even posted videos about it months before ChatGPT even came out. So everything here is human-made, and it's going to be sourced on the screen, receipts included. So the slop version of this already exists 100 times over, and this isn't it. And this also isn't me cherry-picking the best student out of the 1,000 people in my community. This is me picking a random 50-year-old in my family who doesn't have any advantages and helping him grow from absolute zero using Claude AI. So if you appreciate me making this type of content and you want me to make more of it in the future, then let me know by gently cheersing that like button, and let's go ahead and jump into it right now. So let me show you the lazy version of this experiment live. I'm going to type in something generic like make me as much money as possible, and look what comes back. Start a faceless YouTube channel, drop shipping, print on demand. It's the same list of options that you're going to see in just about all these Claude videos that you look up online. And don't get me wrong, not all of these are bad. They can all work, but the problem is they all need traffic, because if nobody knows that you exist, nobody can buy anything from you. And the problem here is Claude wasn't wrong, Claude was unaimed. Now here's the thing about these AI models, and Claude AI is the best one, but it's still the same as the other ones in that if you ask it a lazy question, you're gonna get a lazy result, right? It basically hands you a mirror. Now there's an old saying in programming, it's called GIGO, or garbage in, garbage out. So if you put garbage in, you're gonna get garbage out, and it doesn't really matter how good the model is. In every video where someone types that exact prompt and acts blown away by the to-do list, well, that's partially BS. So I changed the experiment. I didn't run it on me. I've got 1.5 million subscribers. Of course it would work for me. I ran it on a random 50-year-old in my family, my brother Zach. And like I said, he spent 30 years in the trades. He's quite busy as well. He runs an HVAC company, and he's also a realtor on the side, and he has a really good social life. And shout out to you if you're watching this from Monterey, California, because half of you have probably had this man crawling under your house and in your attic. But online, nothing. Right? He's never made $1 outside of his career. So the money was never going to come from what Claude knows. It's going to come from what you know. Claude just packages it, and it does 99% of the heavy lifting for you.
All right, YouTube just got 10 times easier, and nobody is talking about it. You used to need an entire film crew, and it used to be a full-time job for you to just do any work at all on YouTube. But now you can get work done in as little as 15 to 30 minutes a day, and you can actually grow a full-time YouTube channel. And that's exactly what I'm going to be talking about at the live training that we're doing this week. Exactly how to grow your YouTube channel. So click the link in the description in the pinned comment below to check that out, guys. I will be answering questions before, during, and after the live training. It's completely free. Plus, I'll be giving away an AI that is designed to help you pick your niche if you don't have one in the first place, or if you already have a niche, it's going to help you make it 10 times better. So really looking forward to talking with you guys. This is stuff that we never talked about before. So click that link in the description and comment below. I look forward to seeing you there.
So let me show you what I mean. A good example of what I mean is a community member of ours named Steven. Now, Steven's an engineer who teaches one piece of CAD software. It's called Siemens NX. This is a very niche type of CAD software that only specific types of engineers use. And he started promoting this using my systems. And within a few months, he had over $12,000 in sales. And there was one order for about $1,103 that came from a meta engineer that Steven had never spoken to in his life, right? So the most elite people in his field were buying this thing that he had to offer. Now, here's what Steven did not do. He did not learn a new skill. He sold the one that he was already carrying because he already spent thousands of hours working with this CAD software in his normal career. And other people wanted to learn the same CAD software without having to spend thousands of hours. And the reason that most people never do that is something that I like to call mile 23 blindness. So picture two people lining up for the same 26.2 mile marathon. One's at the start line, mile 0, and they've got every single mile ahead of them. The other one is already standing at mile 23 because everything they've lived through already covered that ground for them. They just never called it training. And here's what almost nobody can see. The stuff that you're actually great at stopped feeling like a skill years ago. It just feels like you. It's easy to you, right? You might be like a 9 out of 10 at the skill, but you compare yourself to people who are 10 out of 10, and so you think you're not that good at it. Meanwhile, the thing that you've never touched still looks like a real opportunity because the grass is always greener on the other side. This is called the Dunning-Kruger effect. People will see some new business opportunity online that they have absolutely zero experience with, and they'll think, oh, that looks really easy, and they'll start from absolute scratch, not knowing that it's probably gonna take them thousands of hours to get good at it. So people do the one thing that makes absolutely zero sense. They walk away from mile 23 and they go stand back at the start line with everybody else and try making money with stuff that they know absolutely nothing about. And the thing is you can't see how far you've already run because you're the one who ran it. For instance, Layla Garani spent 15 years in corporate finance, and then she started teaching Excel, which is what she already spent thousands of hours mastering, and now she's making over $3 million a year in course sales. And this is her own publicly shared number. And it's not just career-related stuff. It could be anything that you've gotten good at in your life. For instance, Nathan Rose teaches chess, and using our Claude AI-powered systems, he made it to a full-time income in just a few months. And Cheryl Campbell sat under 50 subscribers for years, and then after using our Claude AI systems, one video about spiritual awakenings did 130,000 views, and she started actually making money. So random CAD engineer software, Excel, chess, teaching people spiritual awakenings, none of them invented anything new. They just cashed in on what they already knew. In other words, they started at mile 23, not at mile 1. And this is exactly what I helped my brother do as well. And if you don't do this, if you try to start from mile 0, sure, it might still work for you, but it's probably gonna take you 10 times longer. So here's how to find your mile 23. Open Claude, free tiers find to start, and run the exact prompt that's sitting in the description and the pinned comment below. It should be the third link down there, so click down there to check that out. It's gonna make Claude interview you first, everything in one message, and then it's gonna hand you your 3 best lanes and hit the one that it would start with in about 20 minutes. So you can screenshot this, copy and paste it into Claude. It might give you a perfect answer right away, or you might have to go back and forth with it a little bit, and then you're gonna have something that you can actually start with that has a very high chance of success. So this is exactly what we did with my brother Zach. And of course, I'm typing this in. This is a little bit of a reenactment, but this is approximately what it said when we did this. And it told him that he should teach other people how to pick the right trade career for them and how to get into trade-related careers, because the trades are really hot right now, especially considering the fact that AI is eliminating a lot of jobs out there. So a lot of people are wanting to get into the trades. And to be honest, for my brother, this was common sense to him. And a lot of the times, the thing that this is going to come out with is common sense to you. But what is common sense to you is not necessarily common sense to other people. And oftentimes that is the thing that you should be teaching. And if you don't think that you're the best in the world at this, well, think of skill from a spectrum, right? From 1 to 10. If you're a 3 out of 10, just a few steps ahead of a 1 out of 10, you can help a 1 out of 10 get to 3 out of 10. And if you're a 5 out of 10, you can help a 3 out of 10 get to 5 out of 10. A 7 out of 10 can help a 5 out of 10 get to 7 out of 10, and so on. So we sat him down, we opened Claude, and we let it interview him, and it became very obvious what he should do. Now, it had some other suggestions that were pretty good as well. It also suggested that he could help people start an HVAC business, and that could have potentially been a really good option too. But the thing is, you want to pick one option, just go for it for now. Now, if you design your business in such a way, which I called the hybrid personal brand method, you'll be able to pivot later on if you want to. So don't worry about being married to whatever your niche is right now. Now, additionally, if you want help finding your niche and you want to see a step-by-step of exactly how we helped my brother find his niche and how we helped him grow his business to the results that we're going to show later on in this video, then I'm actually doing a completely free live training this week, and it'll be the first link in the description in the pinned comment below. Click down to check it out. Additionally, I'll be giving away the niche validator Claude skill, which has been trained on thousands of hours of us teaching people to pick their ideal niche, and we're going to be showing you how to personalize it for you at the live training we're doing this week. So click the link in the description in the pinned comment below to check that out. All right, so we chose to help career switchers or beginners pick the right trade for them and actually land the job. And notice why he's credible here, right? 30 years in a trade is the credibility. Most of his friends are also in the trades. And so the stuff that he talks about on his channel, again, is common sense to him, but it is not common sense to most people out there. Now you might be thinking that niche sounds way too small. Hold that thought for a second. We're gonna get to that here in a minute. So the next question is, what does Zach actually sell? Now, quick example here, because you might be thinking, oh, Shane, well, you probably have to have millions of views and millions of subscribers to actually make money. And that is also not true. If you do this the right way, you don't. And by the way, just about any business model out there works if you have traffic, and YouTube is by far the best way of getting traffic. So what you do is you pick YouTube as your mother platform, and then you syndicate the content automatically using AI to all the other platforms. And that's how you get buyers coming to you so that you don't have to spend all of your time trying to get buyers, customers, and clients. So an example of this would be Carla Singson. She had a tiny channel with about 1,500 subscribers, and her videos were getting 100 to 200 views each max. But she picked the right niche, and because of that, she was able to land a $106,000 contract from a video that got less than 200 views. So she didn't need a crowd, she just needed one buyer. And she made an entire year's worth of money from one single buyer and one single video. So there's a lot of different ways that you can make money from this, right? You could do services, you could do coaching, you could do a course, you could do software, you could do affiliate marketing or sponsorships, etc., etc. Now, most people pick the wrong one here, especially if they're trying to make money fast, because they'll pick the sexy one, right? A course takes months of building before you see $1. A software is even worse. And I know because I've spent well over $100,000 on coaching and mentorships over the years. And I've seen every single one of these from the inside. And I've tried just about every side hustle, just about every one-person business, just about every make money online opportunity out there. So I would know which ones you can actually make money with fast. Now, Zach also sells houses, so Claude gave him the version that he understood instantly. Building a course is like buying raw land. You have to get the permits, the foundation, the framing, then you have to actually build the house, and it's gonna be months, maybe even years before anyone can move in. But affiliate marketing is a move-in ready house, already built, already proven, and already selling. Now, he could have also chose to sell a service, because a service is another example where you don't have to do the work before you sell it. You sell it, and then you do the work. With that being said, Zach is incredibly busy, and so we chose to go with affiliate marketing for him. And later on, he'll likely start selling a service or coaching to make extra money. And the affiliate that Claude helped him land on is a company called Course Careers. So they train people into new careers, and their own reported numbers are stupid good. A stupidly high amount of surveyed grads landed a job, most of them within 3 months, and their average salary jumped from about $42,000 to $58,700. Plus, they have a 4.7 excellent score on Trustpilot. And here's the fit, right? Because Zach's audience asks one question all day long: which trade should I pick? Well, Course Careers is literally that answer. They have a bunch of different trades that people can get into, and they handpick ones that people can get into quickly. And there's a payout attached. They have a very generous affiliate program. And to be honest with you guys, most side hustles that people pitch on YouTube are secretly second full-time jobs. And that is not what we're trying to build here. We're trying to build something that can be done in 4 hours or less per week. So here's how to start. List 2 or 3 products that you'd recommend to people anyway. Then find their partners or affiliate page. Typically, it's going to be at the bottom of the website, and just search partners or affiliate or something along those lines, and then apply for it. It's free, and let your content do the selling. Now, if you don't know any affiliates to partner with, there's 2 things you can do. One is you can look at other people that are in your space or in related spaces and see what affiliates they're promoting on their videos, and then try those out. And of course, only do it if you like the product and service, right? You want to make sure you do your due diligence on this. Or 2, search Claude for affiliate programs that you could potentially promote that have proof of concept of other people actually making money from them. And again, make sure you promote something that's actually good. So at this point, Zach is holding a product that already works. Now watch what happened when he started telling people about it. So remember, Zach did not have a YouTube channel, didn't have a following, didn't have the first idea what a thumbnail even was. And the rules for this was he could only spend 4 hours a week or less growing this business, because he was already incredibly busy running an HVAC business and being a realtor on the side. And he started this YouTube channel using our systems, talking about stuff that he already knew. And because of the fact that he was already an expert, he was already an authority on it, he went from $0 to $214 in a single day, 29 days after posting his first video. So that is a full-time income, right? $214 a day is a $78,000 a year run rate. So we went from 0 to a full-time income in less than 1 month. And his very first video that he posted blew up and got over 800,000 views, because this system works when you talk about something that you already know a lot about. But we did not stop there, right? Because that's not the ceiling, that's the floor. And that $214 a day isn't even the big number. Stick around because by the end of the video, I'm showing you exactly how far we actually took this. Now you might be thinking, sure, but he had you in his ear the whole time. Fair. I told him where to point Claude. That first video, for instance, that got 800,000 views, it took him about 15 minutes to write the script for it with Claude. But that's the entire point. Knowing where to point it is the one advantage that isn't talent, it isn't luck, and it isn't some gift that you were born with. It's just knowledge, and knowledge is the one advantage that you can just take. So it took the knowledge from his head, and something that would have been a full-time job for him before Claude AI came out, turned into something that he could actually do on the side in 4 hours a week or less. But before we go into the results that he got after this, let's quickly talk about why we choose YouTube. Because there's basically 3 ways to get buyers. There's 3 ways to actually make money to get people to pay you for the knowledge that you already have, right? You can call these 3 different doors. Door 1 is paid ads. They're expensive, they're complicated, and you're paying to interrupt strangers, and most beginners just burn cash learning the machine. Door 2 is cold outreach. We're talking cold calls, cold emails, cold DMs. This is basically a full-time job, and you're gonna get rejected all day long. You got to send like 200 DMs in the afternoon, and then most of the platforms are going to flag you as the spammer. So it's a full-time job wearing a side hustle costume. Door 3 is content that makes buyers come to you, right? Door 1 is kind of like renting a billboard, praying that the right person drives by at the exact right moment, and spending a massive amount of money to rent that billboard. Door 2 is knocking on doors in a storm, hoping that somebody's home. And door 3 is building a lighthouse. You build it once and it pulls boats in every single night, whether you're standing in it or not. And all the other platforms are good, don't get me wrong, but YouTube is by far the best platform for actually making money. People come to YouTube when they're looking to solve a problem. People go scroll on all the other social media platforms when they're bored. So if someone has a problem and they're actively looking for a solution to that problem, YouTube is where they go to. And those are the types of people who actually buy stuff. Plus, it's been shown that long-form content converts into buyers better than any other type of content, and YouTube is the long-form content king. And like I said before, you want YouTube to be your mother platform, and then you can syndicate that content automatically or semi-automatically using AI to all of the other platforms. So one YouTube video can become shorts, clips, podcast audio, emails, posts, tweets, etc. You produce one long-form YouTube video and then you syndicate it everywhere else. And before you panic about cameras, Zach originally started filming on his phone. And seriously, if you have a modern phone, like a Samsung, an iPhone, a Google Pixel, etc., it is more than good for videos. In fact, you could even film on your webcam. One of our community members, Nurse Jen, for instance, started filming her videos on her webcam on her laptop. So it was super low quality, but it didn't matter. She almost immediately had 3 videos take off, get over 600,000 views, and when she started monetizing, she made $6,000 her first month, then $8,000, then $10,000 plus. And she was able to quit her job as a nurse, and she is now traveling all around the United States in a camper van, literally living her dream life while she's making money from this Claude AI powered business. So content is the door that my brother walked through, and it's an absolute no-brainer. Additionally, if you're doing other different methods of getting clients like paid ads or cold outreach, content makes those methods 2 to 3 times more effective. Think about it. If someone reaches out to you, is trying to solve a problem that you have, you're probably going to look them up on Google. And if a YouTube channel shows up at the top and they have a bunch of helpful content, you're going to be way more likely to buy from them. Now, I know exactly what some of you started thinking the second that I said, my brother did it, right? So let's run the excuses head on. I'm too old for this. Well, my brother is in his 50s, Nurse Jen is 60, Craig is a realtor in Montana. In fact, he has one of the biggest realty businesses in Montana, and he is in his late 60s. And one of his very first videos with us broke over 100,000 views. So no, age doesn't matter. In fact, if you're over 50, it is easier to get views from content because there's a massive demand for people over 50 to make content from the platform, from advertisers, and from people watching on the platform. And there's not a lot of supply. There's not a lot of people over 50, which is why you've probably seen hundreds of creators over 50 blow up recently. Okay, next excuse. I am not a tech person. Neither is Zach. Neither is Nurse Jen. Nurse Jen used her webcam on her laptop to do this. So if you've had a Zoom meeting before, you can make content like this. Buyers do not care about fancy content. They don't need your content to be like Mr. Beast. They just want you to help them solve the problem that they have. That's it. Next excuse, I don't have time, I've got a full-time job. Well, Bill built the financial controller around the exact job that he already had, which was a job as a financial controller in New York. which is very, very busy. He was working long hours in this job, and he still built that channel up to making over $70,000 in a single month. Same thing with Nicole. She worked in GRC, which is governance, risk, and compliance. And it's a very boring type of cybersecurity, possibly one of the sleepiest topics alive. And when we first started working with her, she had 85 subscribers and she was about to give up on YouTube. And we helped her get to over $80,000 in a single month. And if you still think this is one lucky family, then here's 30 seconds of receipts. Richard Walls got to $12,000 in a single month teaching people how to get online MBAs, as well as which certifications and certificates are good to take to advance your career. Josh did it with IT and cybersecurity. He got to $185,000 in a single month. Sean Dolwitt was already very successful on YouTube. He was already making about $30,000 a month, and we helped him scale all the way to $500,000 a month with his exact same system. Antoine Wade did the exact same thing, helping African Americans break into cybersecurity, and he got to over $100,000 in a single month. Felix did the exact same thing with investing. He makes 8 figures. And a guy in his 60s, RJ, whose channel is literally called The Unretired, who helps people unretire, got to nearly $30,000 in a single month with this exact system. And he did it in just a few months after starting. And they are not special. Right? I've watched hundreds of people run this, and they're just using the same exact playbook that I've been handing you this entire video. And again, if you want to know exactly how they did it, and if you want help picking your niche, or if you already have a niche, making your niche 10 times better, then go ahead and attend the live training by clicking that link in the description in the pinned comment below. We're having it this week. And also, if you're watching this in the future, still click that link because it'll automatically put you on the wait list for whenever the next live training is. And one more thing, and I say this with love, some of you have watched 100 videos like this one and never opened Claude a single time to try to make money. And honestly, guys, the videos were never the problem because all of those side hustles that they talk about, they all work if you have traffic. But the problem is that you didn't have the system and you didn't start. So today that changes. So let's finish the Zach story because so far all I've shown you is day 29, right? He went from 0 to a full-time income in less than 1 month. Now here's the part that I barely talk about on this channel. And this is the moment that he almost blew the whole thing up. A few months in, Zach started doing the one thing that I told him not to do, which is taking advice from random make money online gurus that he saw on YouTube. And one of these goofballs told him to switch on a setting called Player for Education on YouTube. Now, I'd never even talked about that setting because there's no reason that a normal channel would touch it. Now, that mode exists only for videos that are designed to be shown inside of classrooms, right? Classrooms that have young people in them. So Zach's channel is not designed for that, but he flipped it on anyways and it kneecapped the channel. The views fell off of a cliff and weeks of momentum were gone. One toggle, one stranger's bad advice, and it damn near torched the whole thing. And the wildest part is his own brother does this for a living. So there was absolutely no reason for him to take advice from these other random goofball gurus online. But that was the turn. We got the settings shut off and we went back to the system that was already working and we did some things to fix the damage that had been done. And I made him promise that he was going to stick by one rule, one source of truth. And that was the boring rhythm. Just stick to the plan. Less than 4 hours a week, consistently uploading YouTube videos and promoting affiliate links. So here's the full arc. Day 29, he had $214 in a single day. And then the channel steadily made money over the next year and he was making a full-time income. And just last month, at the time of recording this video, he made over $18,000 in a single month. And this is from a guy who had never made a single dollar outside of his trade. And I am not making this up. The channel is public. Go look at it right now if you want. Now, the full ride between those two numbers, the dead weeks where nobody was watching, the vacation where his own friends were actually roasting him about the channel right up until one of his videos actually exploded mid-trip, I documented all of it. And if you want to know more about that, attend the live training this week by clicking that link in the description in the pinned comment below, or you can watch the video that I'm going to be linking at the end of this. With that being said, I know that 99% of you are going to watch my free content, get a ton of value out of that. You're going to download the free resources that I put in a lot of my different videos that are super valuable. They take hundreds of hours for us to make them. You're going to get a ton of value out of that. You're going to attend my live training, which is completely free. And you can literally even ask me questions. I'll be answering questions before, during, and after the live training. So click the link in the description to check that out. And we are never going to end up working together. And that is completely fine. I always want to give 10 or even 100 times more value than what I receive. With that being said, there's going to be 1% of you out there, maybe 0.1% of you out there that want a one-on-one mentorship experience, or you want us to literally just do the work for you. And you're going to want this because it's going to help you to get there faster. And for those of you that want that, go ahead and book a call by clicking the second link in the description in the pinned comment below. On this call, we'll figure out where you are right now, where you want to be. We'll make a plan to get there and we'll see if we're a good fit to work together or not. But only book a call if you are very serious about growing and making money on YouTube. because we can only work with a small amount of people at a time. Right now, we're only accepting 5 people to work with us one-on-one, and we only accept about 18% of people who apply. Now, the types of people we typically work with are professionals with at least 10 years of experience or people that are younger, but they're overachievers. Basically, people who have something worth sharing, right? People who have problems that they've solved that they could help other people solve. And they want to make educational content on YouTube and then promote really good products and services. But we also work with business owners who want to grow their YouTube channel and their personal brand and their social media so they can get more views, they can get more leads, they can make more sales, and they can grow their brand. We also work with YouTubers who are getting a lot of views, but they're struggling with monetization. We work with YouTubers who are crushing it, but they want to crush it even harder. And we work with people who have big followings on other social media platforms, or maybe they've written a book, for instance, and they want to bring that audience over to YouTube because they know that YouTube is the best for actually making money. So again, if that sounds like you, go ahead and click that second link in the description in the pinned comment below to apply to work with us. If not, totally fine. Just attend the live training. It's completely free. We're going to give a ton of value to you. And also check out this video right here where we go over exactly how we helped my brother go from 0 to a full-time income in 1 month and the entire story of how we helped him in more detail. And you can check that out by clicking right here.